So today we are talking about initiation, and this topic is a very important one in the spiritual, on the spiritual path. It's actually the conscious beginning of one's accelerated movement on the spiritual path. The order of life, the order of the universe is movement. Everything moves in the universe. Nothing is stationary. Nothing remains as it is. Although we think that some things like rocks and hard things and inanimate, so-called inanimate things, do not move, that is only because we do not perceive the movement, but they do move. There is movement inside of them, and they transform themselves also. Everything moves. The huge rocks become sand, are transformed into sand. Galaxies explode and give rise to new forms of manifestations of life. Everything moves. When we stop moving, then that is the sign of death, or that is the sign of approaching death. And of course, total stillness is death. So everything moves, and everything moves in a harmonious flow towards something. There is no disharmony in the universe. Even when we think that there are some terrible happenings in nature, that those happen to restore some temporarily lost harmony. So everything that happens aims at some goal, moves towards some unknown, perhaps invisible goal. In human life also there are goals. Sometimes we don't think exactly what is our main goal. We think perhaps more often what are our short-term goals. I want to complete my university studies, that is a goal. But what is the goal? What that is a stepping stone. What does that? Where will that lead me next? What is my next goal? So there probably is something in the mind. After this, I will do that. So everything has a reason, but sometimes we don't identify our ultimate goal, perhaps due to the fact that we are unable to imagine it, and we just go along with the flow. Let's see what, I'll just finish my studies and let's see where, what opens up. Let's see what opportunities open up for me, and then at that point I will judge. As in the universe there is a goal apparently for everything, then surely human life also has a goal. And the progress that we see in all forms of life that leads to higher and higher perfection. Every species moves towards higher and higher perfection of the functions and their purpose of being. What is then the progressive trend of humanity? What is the progressive trend of human life, of a human being? Movement is a must, and so in human life we can move towards greater realization, towards a greater fulfillment, or we can also sabotage that movement, at least temporarily. Other forms of life cannot do that, but human beings can. So when progress is an important thing for human beings, we need to understand what we can do to progress. People may say, well, I don't think about it so much, about my life, where I need to take my life. I just go, I just move as the current leads me, and then by and by I decide what to do. I'm quite free, I don't want to decide. And that may be fine to a certain extent. but there is an innate desire, there is a longing in human beings to progress. They don't like to remain ignorant, for example. No, even people who do not have so much education, who do not have many opportunities of understanding things so deeply, they try to understand something. When something happens to us, we try to understand, why did that happen to me? Why? That why. That why is the question that we ask. And it is such a natural question, because it is born of the desire of progressing, of wanting to understand, wanting to expand the scope of mind, to embrace more and more of what is now unknown. So the opposite trend is unnatural. To say, I don't want to know anything, I don't want to learn anything, that actually is unnatural and it's almost impossible. Even when we try to forget the most natural inner longings that we have, we will be reminded, because it is impossible for human beings to remain stuck. Even if they do something to sabotage their movement forward, at some point they will receive a blow or some pressure from behind in order for them to regain their steps. So in human life, progress can be, people can say that one can attain progress in a physical sense. Progress in the intellectual or mental sense. And this type of progress is more commonly known as progress, is what we say, oh, that's what progress is. If somebody is hungry, and that is a bondage. Hunger is a bondage. To become free from hunger means progress. If we can become free from something that disturbs us, disturbs our well-being on the physical level, then for us that is progress. Becoming free from hunger is progress. Removing the hunger problem from the world would be progress. However, that type of progress is not a permanent type of situation, it's not a permanent type of condition. I can do something to remove my hunger today, but it will come back tomorrow. I cannot remove it permanently. I can do something to feed people today, but again they will have to be fed. I can do something to defeat a disease, but maybe another disease will come that was not manifested previously. So on the physical level, on the physical realm of existence, while it is important to remove the bondages that limit us, it is also important to realize that in such a way no permanent freedom will come to us. It's only a temporary form of freedom. Progress, is it progress is it the fruit of progress that in the past or in undeveloped societies, people put some leaves, tobacco leaves, in a leaf, and they wrap them up and they smoke, but now you can just buy them packaged and they're all looking exactly the same, and they even come out of a machine. You just need to put some money and press a button and it comes, and that's a sign of progress. Is that progress? But that is what progress on the physical realm can do. It can be the progress of removing hunger from the world, or it can also do things like this, create a better situation, a more comfortable situation. For what that comfort is up to you.